I try to record and work with sound in such a way that the listener can immerse herself or himself in the sound. When that happens, I feel there's a sort of direct, visceral connection. The more we sense that connection, the more we realize we're not separate from the rest of the planet. We're not separate from everything around us. The deeper that sense of connection, the more benign I feel our actions can become.
I think sound is always interdisciplinary and invites a thought of maybe thinking of hybridity, where we abandon this idea, or this is music, this is sound art, this is performance, but actually it starts to open the spaces in between and the thinking in between. And I find that very fruitful because the world is not disciplinary.
One thing that's really important for me is to try and start with the concept and then figuring out which techniques work to manifest that concept. I presented a laser performance that's called hypermobility. So it's a synthesized sound in Super Collider and a laser projector that's visualizing the music through luminous beams.
I'm presenting here a piece called One Drop 1000 Year in a Rewire festival. I'm creating patterns of simple lines which are levitating in the air. It's not a play, it's not theatrical, but it has to be a meaning. I'm thinking about balance between section. The same way you do with music, I'm just doing it with visual and with the stage as my blank pages.
For me, working on performances is really about connecting people, so also through the voice and connecting the performers. And I think darkness has something very special. So we play around with what you can see and cannot see, and how sound also travels through the space.
My show, I Want to Be a Machine, wants to be a machine in the sense that music exists in between various machinery. Some are adventurous, and some are very problematic. That is the nature of music. Rewire is, to me, one of those future festivals. When you experience it, you feel like you are a bit in the future because you haven't seen it before.
I think music functions as a celebratory sort of medium or ritual, but it's also so much more. And in our culture, at least, there's so much space for it in grieving, sort of social settings that are very much about communicating and connecting to each other.
Maya and I are performing our album, Otherworld, and we really had to rethink how the album can be translated to a live performance. But a lot of our work as well has been with the archives from the Popular Art Center in Ramallah, Palestine. However, for this show, we've added a few grief songs to really take into consideration the context.
I think I did my album because I needed to access my own folklore. Look not only into the now or the sounds of the now or who am I within it now, but also like what could it also become?
I'm from Dublin and I am here at Rewire Festival to play as One Leg, One Eye. Just a result of, I suppose, like developments in my own practice and my own relationship to the instrument I play, which is the Irish uilleann pipes, and trying to find a relationship with the instrument that was my own. I'm not trying to change traditional music, but I'm just more trying to use the instrument as a tool to make other kinds of music.
I'm doing church organ because when you work with this instrument from a long time, it's really hard to come back in the studio and soon work with your synthesizer on your little speakers. And this is really fascinating because the music is never the same, and you always recreate your music on location, and that's really exciting. It's a premiere, so we built this robot with Brussels-based engineers. Each time you arrive in a church, finally you have to find a new way, and each time new things appears.